Welcome to The Daily Dish with New York Times bestselling author Leanne Ely. Putting vibrancy back into your everyday life and feeding your heart, mind, body, and soul. Join us every day at 1 p.m. Eastern for Motivational Monday, Tuesday's Tip, Wise Woman's Wednesday, Thirsty Thursday, Food Fight Friday, and of course Q&A, where no question is off limits, and Soulful Saturday. Here is your host, Leanne Ely, and The Daily Dish.
Are you ready for Monday? Are you ready to crush it? Vanessa is, Catherine is, and there's my girl Marguerite. I bet you've already walked, haven't you, Marguerite? Hello, friends, family, and everybody in between, and especially all of you who are my soul sisters and my lovelies with your pinkies up. There's Shauna with all the flowers. Yeah, I'm ready to make it a great day. I'm ready to make it a great week. How about you? Amber's in the house, of course. So's our Lindsay, and of course our Jenny, always in the house. Catherine walked 4 miles. I'm impressed with that. Jeanette's here, and she's walked in the rain. Marguerite walked in the rain. She has points for that, by the way. So thank you. You said I'm looking great. You know, it's so interesting. I'm having so many ahas, and I hope to heaven's sakes you're going to join me tonight. I've had such an interesting few aha moments. Connecting dots and putting research together. You got to be here for that. You got to be here for it. It's tonight at 7 p.m. savingdinner.com/sprint. We haven't done a live sprint webinar in a while. This one especially, we've got new information. It's going to blow your brains out. Not blow your brains out, but it's just your head's going to go, what is that about? Noreen's back from camping and she lost a pound. How do you do that? That's amazing. I see our girl Mary Ann and Darla Jackie in the house. Hello, Melissa. Nancy's here. Yes, there's Steph as well. So good. So I'm excited about that. Have you signed up? savingdinner.com/sprint. Yes, you have to sign up because, you know, this is how these guys bill us, right? By the seat. So you guys need to get your seat so you can get your place. I love this. I love this crowdcast. I love it. It's like the best way that we can present and show you everything. So I'm really excited about that. Jima Corliss, you're in the house. Look at you. Thanks so much for showing up. And Marguerite is doing the Sarah Challenge. Do you remember our Sarah Challenge? Corliss is here. Hello, hello. You know what it is? There's Angie, Kathy. You know what it is? Steph. It's doing all these upper body exercises. And I'm telling you, people think you only do it every other day. Well, true. But did you know how many muscles there are in the upper body? We're talking about your chest. We're talking about your back. All of these things are supporting you, even your core. You know, you can do standing core exercises. They're amazing. And then you've got your triceps, your biceps. You've got your shoulders. That does a lot of work. When we're working on our upper body strength, we're doing things that women don't normally do. And you know, if you become older and you fall on the floor and you can't get up, it's because you have no upper body strength. You only get it when you use it. You know that, right? I know you do. Hi, Cynthia. It's been a minute. I'm glad you're here. Catherine said her arms are killing her. You know, it's amazing how but they respond so quickly. There's our Carol. Speaking of walking, Carol's a champ when it comes to walking. So anyway, and also Jerry, I don't know if Jerry's here. Standing ab work. You know, you can hold your hands out like this and go from side to side. You're going to get those side abs. What are they called again? You know what I could have told you a minute ago. Juanita's here. Yay. There's all kinds of things that you can do without having to, you know, do jumping jacks and jumping around, especially if you have an injured leg. So that's the whole point of this. That's why I had a Sarah Challenge. Also, Jerry is not here, but obliques. Thank you, darling. My brain in the it's right here in my mindful mug. I'll take it out later. How do you sign up for what? Our challenge? Well, just sign up for the sprint and be in the sprint group. Sarah, it's all about that. The physical therapist handed me a 53-pound kettlebell for your deadlifts. That's business right there, girlfriend. That is some business. I do deadlifts every single day. It's leg day because if you want the back of your legs and you want your butt going up instead of falling down, and you want the back of your legs to firm up, deadlifts are the thing. You don't know how to do a deadlift? Well, if I sat here and tried to explain it to you, it'll take me 15 minutes. Just write down the word deadlift. And I especially like Romanian deadlifts. Those are the ones that I do with a barbell, and they're super heavy, and I love doing them. They're fun. Check it out you can read all about them. Go to YouTube for all that. Yes. The challenge is just doing upper body stuff. It's pushing. So you could push with overhead press, or you can do an Arnold press. You know what an Arnold press is? You go up and you bring it down like this, and your arms are changing. You can do biceps, triceps, lat pull downs. There's all kinds of things that you can do. And all of this gets built up and strong. You are not going to look like Arnold, right? You are not. Yeah, there it is. You're not going to look like Arnold. You're going to end up looking like a shapely, strong woman. And I hear so many women say, oh, I just have to cover my arms. I'm so embarrassed about my arms. You know how quickly those get in shape? You do our Sarah challenge, you're going to be in there, right? You're going to be in there. You're going to in there to win it. And you don't do the same. You don't do biceps 2 days in a row. You do biceps one day, you do triceps the next. That muscle group that you work needs a day to recuperate, because what happens is you get itsy bitsy muscle tears. It needs a day, and all that collagen that you're taking to recuperate and build stronger. We get rid of the fat, we start building muscle, and then you can walk around with your, massive biceps. Yeah, it's just that we want to see that. We want that. We're not going to look like big old men. We're women. We're going to always look like women, just not flabby-armed women, strong women. Strong. Hi, Emily. Sorry about your reception. It's too bad. It's fine. Barbells, you can do it with a kettlebell. You can do it with hand weights. There's all kinds of ways to do it. And I love Romanian deadlifts. I'll do them all day long rather than split squats. I hate split squats. Leg day is not my favorite. I love upper body day. It's fun. So I told you last week what we're going to be working through my journal. And I told Jenny this morning, on the way in, I said, I hope this goes well, because I have 2 different entries, if you will. And one is from today. A lot of times I get, stimulated when I'm having my meditation and getting centered and getting ready for the day. Little ideas pop in, and I just write them down in my journal. And sometimes I elaborate on them, and sometimes I don't. So, but the whole thing is that, what it does? It expands the way I think about things and look into things. And you should see the notes that I've been taking for our new Full Bloom. I'm almost like, it's from fear to here, and it's learning how to live a really vibrant life and going to the next level. And what's it all about? Because, we learned last time that we were enough. Well, this time from enoughness comes, okay, so now I want this, or I'm trying to figure out what this is. What is it? What's holding me back? And oftentimes it's fear. We're going to take it down, and we're going to go all the way around and get to the place out of the fear cave. And I've got some stuff to say about that. That's one of the things that came with me during my meditation, and into this place where I'm calling the fear matrix on really how to activate the opposite of fear. And I'm just telling you, it's at Full Bloom, savingdata.com/bloom. That's what we're going to be talking about. That's going to be a lot of what we're talking about. We're going to be doing vision boards. We're going to be eating meals together. It's intense, and it's going to be amazing. Friday night, we're going to be at my house having charcuterie boards on the boat. Well, maybe not on the boat, maybe here, because the boat's going to be busy. And you're going to be here in my house drinking wine, and we're going to be hanging out and have a good time. Come on. Who's going to be there? The tickets are going fast, and the early bird tickets, the last of them, July 1st, it's cut off, and it's full price. savingdata.com/bloom. And this includes virtual, by the way. Get that going. Get it done today. Pinkies up, huh? Should we do this? We got things to do, ladies. We've got lives to live. I'm really excited about our new supplement of the week. And by the way, you sold us out of InflaCrusher last week. We're out, but it's coming. But isn't that cool? I love to, when I see that, how encouraged I get with that? Because I see one more woman taking responsibility for herself and not relying on some crappy over-the-counter pain reliever that's going to obliterate her liver. Instead, she's building health instead of tearing it down. So good. So good. Well, Nancy, I know you're going to be here. Are you kidding me? Nancy, I can't wait. Nancy was our first one to get, she was like, I'm all in. I'm here. It's going to be so much fun. Anyway, what I'm talking about here is buy one, get one. Ta-da! Leptofix. More research. Again, I've been in my research cave. I've been doing all of this stuff. Leptofix is thebomb.com. When our leptin, which is this is the one hunger hormone that says you've had enough, we're done. And, you push away at the table and the temptation is lesser and you're not, triggered to go crazy because it's also calmed down the ghrelin, which ghrelin's the one we don't like. Ghrelin's the one that goes nuts and makes us nuts. So what I've been doing lately is I've been playing with the Leptofix, playing with it. And, I said, I'm just going to double up on it and see how I do. Much better. But, for me, I had double up on the SAMe and all this other kind of stuff. This is not going to kill you. You're going to get a little bit more vitamin C, and it's got a bunch of really good stuff in it. You can find out about it, but savingdinner.com/show. Buy one, get one. And otherwise, this is a 4-month supply, right? And so what we're talking about is 8 months supply. But I'm saying, girlfriend, go for 2. This is not going to kill you. It does such a good job. And this has been my experiment all month. I'm so loving this. Yay. savingdinner.com/show. So you're making reservations for Full Bloom. Am I right? We have an email going out telling you, those of you who've signed up, what's next. All the different things, where to go, where to stay. And big informational email coming out. We're also going to be sending out another email to everybody to let you know if you haven't signed up yet, you're gonna be missing out because tickets are going fast. I don't want you to miss, and I also want you to get this deal. So those are your reservations. The gala is on July 13th and 14th, and I just got my sequiny tops. I got my earrings, and I'm learning to do hair things. Because I'm showing up, girls, and you need to show up with your tiaras and all of your blah, blah, blah. Carol's asking what Leptofix is for. When we have leptin that lives in our fat, Carol, and when we start losing weight, our leptin kind of gets broken. It seriously gets broken. Isn't that nasty? It's like we should be rewarded. But instead, have you noticed as you start to lose weight, oh my gosh, I'm more hungry. Oh my gosh, the cravings are really intense. This is what Leptofix fixes. It helps to make your leptin work better. And boy, oh boy, this is when we need it. Because there's a lot of many layers to cravings. You guys understand that, right? I mean, there's the psychological, it's what we've always done. There's habitual, there's addiction issues. There's also, I want it. And the other thing that's just bizarre about the whole thing with all of this craving stuff is that as you get healthier and you start to heal and start to mend, the stuff that's broken, as it starts to heal and starts to mend, starts screaming louder. It just happens that way. And getting beyond that point, that's where a lot of people break down. And these are what I call little bridges to get over from here to there to here to there. Truly, that's how it is. Joanne said her supplements are getting low, but she's not getting any more till the move. Coming weekend, Joanne. And Sarah's got all the sparkly dresses. I voted for the red one, Sarah. Sarah put a thing out there for the red one for all her dresses that she got. It was beautiful. So anyway, I'm just putting all of this stuff together and dropping it. If you go to savingdinner.com/gala, you can get signed up for the gala, which is coming up on the 13th and 14th. We're going to do it regularly during the day, just like we are now. It will still be fun, believe me. But in the evening, we're going over to Crowdcast, our favorite platform, where we get to hang out and really have fun. We're going to let the music fly. We're going to be dressed to the teeth, the whole thing. Anyway, so Carol, that's what leptin is. Leptin is basically the corrector of your appetite. Yeah, more dresses. I can't wait. Didn't you say you ordered a bunch of tiaras too? Somebody ordered a bunch of tiaras. I was like, okay, let's see what's going on. I may be doing a big beehive. I don't know. We've got a lot of stuff going on. The hair's gonna have a workout. Let me just tell you. So success tools are all found at savingdinner.com/tools. And I'm talking about the Almost Gone Mindful Mug. Got new ones on the way, by the way. I'm also talking about the Almost Gone quote decks. And here's the one that I pulled for today for me. Let's see if tell me if this resonates with you. When your clarity meets your conviction and you apply action to the equation, your world will begin to transform before your eyes. If you didn't get chill bumps, I'm going to come slap you silly. Isn't that just so good? Thank you to our friend Lisa Nichols. And she's a brilliant woman. If you don't know her story and you don't know anything about her, she'll floor you. And she's one of the best speakers I've ever seen. And love it. She said she cut off at 4, but she had all 9 in her cart to start. Oh my gosh. I mean, I think I want one of those big, Queen of the Day tiaras. None of this little princess stuff. I don't want a princess. I want a queen tiara. Like massive. Like take up your whole head tiara. Don't you think? That's what I want. I haven't done that yet. And then also at the tools department, you're going to see the Take Back Your Life journal, which I don't know about you guys, but for me, this is just lighting me up. And I'm not going to show you what I wrote today. This is it. Take Back Your Life. And you'll take a year's worth of goals and make it into 12 weeks. Now, of course not, can't do that with weight loss or whatever, but you can certainly put yourself on the right track. And let me just tell you something. This has made such a difference. It's changed everything in the way I think. And it's just really fantastic. Anyway, I had to share all of that with you. savingdinner.com/tools. If you don't have any of these, it's time, man. Get on it. Get on it. Lucy has to go to the hardware store to get her tiara fixed. I did not know that. And make them give me back my tiara. I love you, Lucy. You are the best. What can I tell you? So we have all of this today. I shared all of this, and I'm going to share with you today about courage and discouragement because I wrote about them in my journal. These are all little seeds that get planted in my brain. And when I sit down and have my meditation, I always do it with my earbuds. I always do it with my pencil. Isn't this one so pretty? Look at the color. I do it with my pencil and I do it with a pad and I jot down notes. I jot down like something comes, like the fear cave thing. That was one of the things that came. And I'm writing down all these notes so that I can understand. Like, I feel like God is just planting little seeds and helping me to see things that I need to see for my own life. And I'm always convinced that, hey, listen, if this is pertinent to me, I bet you anything, y'all are right there with me, right? Okay, Lucy said she left it there by mistake. Queens leave their tiaras sometimes by mistake. Go pick that up, Lucy. That tiara belongs to you. It belongs on your beautiful head, always. It's a slow process, but quitting won't speed it up. That's such a good quote. I think that's in one of our quote decks or the upcoming one. So when I'm talking about courage, this was something that I wrote, and in 2018, my word of the year was unstoppable. And let me just tell you something. I did not live it very well. I lived mostly in fear, but I was mustering the courage. I was mustering the thinking better about myself. In 2018, was it 2018? Maybe it was 2017. I did my very first Take Back Your Life workshop, and I didn't believe anybody would come. And having the courage to put it together, to even write the email, came because in 2016, I guess maybe it was 2018, sorry about this, but it was on the cusp of my 60th birthday. And I had this notion that it was time to get out of the kitchen, that I cooked enough chicken on TV and, done enough cooking. I'd done all of that. I had shown up and I had put it out. And I had the tricks, I had the recipes, I had the plans, I had the menus, I had the the cookbooks. I had all of it. And I know it, I understand it, and I think it's lovely, and it's one of my favorite things that I know how to do. I feel confident and competent in the kitchen. But my life is not all about the skillet. My life is not all about the stovetop. And it occurred to me, it was a cosmic 2x4, that, I was on the cusp of my 60th, a little freaking out, like, holy cow, how'd that come up so quickly? And I started to think about, legacy and what that meant. And I remember back in the day, I was a little bit past that year. A lot of times women were given hope chests. That was one of the things I told my mom, I want a hope chest, because isn't that what girls do? They get hope chests, or I saw them in movies. And I guess that my generation, they kind of stopped, all of they stopped all that hope chest stuff. But I thought it was such a neat thing. Cedar, and you open it, and there you have linens, and you have handwork and all this. I mean, it's a beautiful tradition. And I thought, boy, I really want that. Never did get that. But I saw that as like, when I was thinking about turning 60, I didn't get the hope chest. I didn't get the prince on the horse and the, marriage that lasted forever. I didn't get any of that stuff. I got two beautiful children. I got little sparks, little seeds along the way that taught me different things on purpose and for purpose. As I look back, I thought, well, why am I sitting here with a child who is crying out of control with these ear infections? And I've told you that story before, of just crumpling up that prescription and saying no more, and making a different way and figuring it out. Because remember, everything is figure outable, even the hard stuff. And why did all these things happen? And it started me on this nutrition journey. It started me on thinking differently. It started me on doing things differently and looking for a more excellent way. Because what I was being handed just didn't fit. And it was going against everything I believed. It was, my knowing was going, no, can't do it. This is not right. And it wasn't even plugged in yet. So I looked back on all of that. And then in 2018, when I was saying, I want to not leave a legacy, I want to live a legacy. And if any of this resonates with you, let me know what you think. And we got hundreds of emails back with, oh my gosh, yes, me too. And yes, please. And share more. And this was great. And all of that. And I kind of played with it for a while, but you know what I did? And can any of you relate to this? I sat in my own fear cave of thinking, well, I'm just not good enough for that. Nobody wants to listen to anything that I have to say. And I don't have hundreds of thousands of followers. I'm not an influencer. I'm not this and I'm not that. I went through the whole list of why this shouldn't be. And yet, I asked God to show me. I asked him to show me what my purpose was besides, menus and all of this other stuff. I asked him for that. I wrote a letter that was a little risky and put it out there a little bit. And then what happened? All these women came back and said, yeah, let's go with that. Go with that. And then I moved here. Things changed, things shifted. And you know where I was? I was in this place of thinking, well, let's go. Let's see what happens. And here we are 2 years later now, 2 years later, doing the Daily Dish and understanding that this is how we move the needle in our lives. This is how we get off the carousel of crazy. This is how we start living as God intended us to live, in a way that's uniquely ours, vibrantly ours, in a way that you get to customize it, I get to customize it, and we all get to celebrate each other. Isn't that the way we should be living? Isn't that the way it should be? Getting our eyeballs for just a minute off that stupid scale that's sitting in your bathroom, for just a minute off what's going on in your closet and all that. How about instead we step into the very best versions of ourselves? And you want to hear something that I read this weekend? And I almost fell out of my chair. I was laughing so hard. And this woman said, and I can't even remember her name, to be honest. She's this weight loss expert. And she said, a a lot of times what happens, in order for your body to lose weight, your body has to heal first. I wonder if she listens to my show, because that's exactly it, you know? And we are healing our lives, you know? We have had our eyeballs peeled on the measuring tape, not so much. Most people go crazy about the stupid bathroom scale, which is mostly inaccurate. But those are the numbers that determine whether you're going to have a good or bad day. Those are the numbers that are going to determine what your worth is. And I'm not saying this is correct. I'm just saying that this is how we've been conditioned. And I'm pulling the plug out of that because that's the carousel of crazy, all of it. And I've stopped weighing myself for the most part. I can just get on the scale every once in a while to see what's going on. And, you know, it's surprising and interesting, especially when my clothes start getting smaller or bigger rather. And, you know, my arms are like starting to look stronger and interesting, connecting all of those dots, because when we have the courage to step into who we are instead of being the cultural norm of, hey, girls, let's look like this. Let's have thigh gaps and get into smaller jeans. And it's all about this. And are you ready for bikini season? Somebody wrote me an email that says, I couldn't believe, the subject was line, I couldn't believe I was wearing a bikini or some nonsense like that. And I read her email. I was like, the whole time. And I just wanted to write her back and say, do you know what you're doing to women by talking about this stupid bikini stuff? I mean, listen, I'm going to put a bikini on this summer, but you know why? Just because I can, maybe I can't. Maybe there's going to be somebody out there who goes, oh, you can't put on a bikini, but I'm going to be on my paddleboard doing all kinds of stuff, and I want to get the sun. And you know what else? I don't care what everybody else thinks. And I'm going to just tell you something, that when we get to step into the best part of who we are, the rest of it falls into place, into the priority that it needs to be. That's courage, because courage is moving beyond the fear. And fear and courage, by the way, are you ready for it? Write it down. They're habits. We don't, fear comes from and is fed from whatever garbage you lived in your past or for whatever reason. We all have a story. And I'm not dismissing your story. I'm just saying not to live in the old story. And the same thing goes with courage, because if you make a decision that you're going to start doing courageous things, it means you're willing to take a little bit of a risk and you're willing to step a little bit outside of the fear cave and go instead to the place of approving of yourself and not having everybody else's disapproval. That's huge. That's what courage does. Courage says, I approve of you, flaws and all. Fear says, I don't. Fear says, you are not worthy. That's what fear does over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, on repeat. And we live these loops in our heads, and we have to actively take a pair of scissors and cut them with courage. That's what those scissors represent. Courage. Courage. So when fear, when it's confronted, when we confront the fear, what is fear doing to us? It's disapproving of us, saying you're not enough, saying you're not worthy, saying it's not now, maybe later, when you're bikini worthy, when you have lost this much weight, when you fit in this pair of jeans, when you putting off your life and not living it. And I'm just going to say this right now, and I believe this with my whole heart, that when we do that, you know what we're basically saying? Our lives are not worthy right now. And what does that say to the Creator who gave you breath in the first place? What does that say to him? And I said, don't make me tell that nursing bra story again, but it's that truth of going to the place of 100% acceptance, warts and all, and having the courage to put on the bathing suit, having the courage to be that woman and do it anyway. The do it anyway is the courage. The do it anyway says the risk is worth it because I'm worth it. And you know what the do it anyway does? It breaks the curse of fear. It breaks its back. Fear can't live with that kind of stuff. Fear can't live with courage and valor hanging over its head. Good to you. I love you. I'm bragging when I say I swam in my bathing suit at my very heaviest. Very good for you, Lucy. Of course you did. Amen. And I have to say that oftentimes what we're looking for in order to ditch the fear is we're looking for the security that it's okay to do so. Well, who am I to give you permission? I'm giving you the same permission I gave myself. So if you need someone to give you permission, I'm here to give it to you. But really, you are the one who needs to give yourself permission, because in this life, there's no security. There isn't. There's only opportunity, and opportunity comes from the yes. You're right? Have you noticed that? Opportunity comes from putting that bathing suit on anyway and saying, all right, that's what happens. That's what happens. And I will tell you this, and I know this is going to be hard for a lot of you to hear, but if you're not a little bit afraid, if it's not a little bit hard, if it doesn't, kind of maybe push a button or two that you kind of go, I don't know, you're not trying hard enough. Truth. Because it's always about going to the next level. Not that we're striving for perfection, not that but we're sharpening our axe continually. There are other trees, and we're on a mission in this life, not to just sit and vegetate, not to just be in limbo land, not to just be, treading water, but to go places and to do things and to help to be the hands and feet. We can't do that if we're just sitting there. Sitting on your butt is like, why would we do that? Why would we do that? It is a waste of flippin' time, and your time is precious. We talked about time last week. We made the remark of saying, holy cow, we don't know how much time we have left. And every moment has to be cherishable, even the stuff that we hate, even the wiping of butts and the doing hard things and crying and dealing with stuff that's hard. That's even cherishable, because it shows our humanity, it shows our heart, it shows the love, and it helps to expand this beautiful part of ourselves. Brave always goes forward. Fear doesn't. Fear either sits back or goes backwards. Oftentimes backwards into a fear loop, the fear cave, oftentimes backwards into the place of just not believing enough in yourself or in your circumstances, or that God's got this all figured out. You just have to be in it to do it. And success in this life, whether it's whatever it is that you're trying to do, it demands courage. It demands courage, because if you stand behind the skirt of fear and use that as an excuse and use that as a reason for not going forward, you're missing the calling on your life. You're missing the vibrancy that you could be living right now. And you're missing out on opportunity left, right, and center. We can't isolate. We have to connect. We can't shrink away and say, well, this is why, and these are all my things, because courage is all about stepping up. Fear of failure is overcome only through courage. And I wrote that, this is from my whole thing, I am unstoppable, because nothing's going to stop me. This is from 2018, I guess, when it was, going through this whole thing of understanding just how the contrast between fear and courage, I believe, those are opposites. Maybe not technically, but in my mind they are. Because there's two different ways that you can choose to live your life. It can be fear-based or courage-based. And courage doesn't mean that you're going to go out there and wrestle lions or, bungee jump or do anything dumb like that. Courage just means that you're able to step away from yourself for a minute and look at the greater good, see the big picture of what it is that you want for your life. That's what vibrancy is about. Because vibrancy isn't going to be in the safe places. It's going to be in the risky places. Vibrancy is going to be in that doing things that are just a little bit risky. And I think, I'm looking at all of you here, and I'm seeing so many of you, people that I have seen, women that I've loved from afar, mostly, and seeing them come out of their shells just a little bit, making steps toward connecting just a little bit more and being a little bit more vocal and being a little bit more there. and saying what you want, having a voice in your life. That's all courageous stuff. It's all to be commended, and it makes all the difference in the world. And then, the last thing that I wrote here, and this is from today's, and this is funny because this is all these, years later. Facing our fear creates courage, and that's the creator of courage. We talk a lot about motivational. What comes first, motivational or motivation or confidence, and I think it's courage that comes first before all of it. It's saying goodbye to the fear, and then the confidence comes, and then the motivation to create more of it comes. Because it is a lovely, magical momentous momentum that we can create just with these thoughts, this mindset thing. So courage is doing something that frightens you, even a little bit, and strength in the face of pain and grief. I think about that, strength in the face of pain and grief. And I will say to every single woman who's listening to me right now, how many women do you know who've faced pain? Who faced grief? I mean, pain can mean a whole lot of different things. Same with grief. The grief could be mourning a relationship that didn't develop in the way you thought it was going to, or not getting a job, or losing somebody, or a cat, or or losing opportunity, or whatever it is. But grief comes, and it sits, and we feel it. Pain comes in all different types of form, physically, emotionally, mentally, all of it. Nobody has gotten through this life unscathed by it. It's all happened to us. So I look at that and I see that this is all immensely overcomable, which doesn't mean, we talked about grief too, because my mom's birthday and all of that, and her anniversary of her death is coming up in just a few days. And all of that it doesn't mean that you get to escape grief and you get to replace the one that you loved or anything with something else. It means that painful part will coexist now with new memories, with new love, with new things to fill your heart. And that the grief, it will still live. And you'll have a moment from time to time where you'll cry and whatever. But it's putting it, my friend Christina Rasmussen calls it the waiting room. And if you haven't read her, if you've suffered from any kind of loss, whether it's divorce or any kind of loss, really, read it. It's called Second Firsts. Second Firsts. Firsts. Christina Rasmussen. Sorry, I can't even say her name. Dear friend of mine. I love her. Beautiful soul. And boy, did she teach me a lot about grieving and really how to grieve in a way that's courageous and grieve in a way that we can properly put things into perspective, because the grief doesn't leave. It just needs to go to the waiting room, and you just need to read her book to find out about that. So if that's you, make that choice. So when you look at courage and you see this is what courage is, discouragement is the loss of confidence. It's the loss of enthusiasm. It's the disheartenedness that we feel. And we've all been discouraged from time to time. It's the choice of where we choose to live, though. In this place of discouragement, in this disheartened place, is that where we make our beds? In this place where there's a loss of confidence, is that where we say, well, that just shows who I am, and this is my new definition of me? Or do we understand that discouragement happens, and now we take a deep breath in and say, now how do I get to this place of courage? What is my next step? And for that, I don't have any more journal stuff to share with you, except that I know this, that when you look inside and you start looking at the person that you are and the person that you are intended to be, because you understand and you know in your heart of hearts, in your beautiful self, that you're here on purpose and for purpose. When you understand that breath was intentionally put into those beautiful nostrils of yours and put you here on this earth right now, today, to be with these women, to be so hand-selected, chosen. Oh, I need a little Jema here. I need me some Sarah and some Lucy and Nancy. Bring these women in. They're an important part of my whole big plan. When we start to live from that perspective, then it's immensely figure outable. Are you kidding me? Of course it is. It's just a matter of now looking for it, looking for the plan. It's there. It's in front of you. He doesn't leave us without direction. He leaves us with a lot of smarts, with beautiful people to surround yourself with all these books, with an internet, with everything. And it's all deeply embedded inside of your beautiful self. It is. And inside of you is that seed of courage, if you will just water that, not this other stuff. Water the courage seed and allow that to take form. Allow that to bloom fully in your life. Because this is the way that we find our vibrancy and we find our place and we start to connect all these dots and put this beautiful puzzle together. And can you imagine living a life like that? Can you imagine? It's there for the asking if you choose it. And I don't know about you, but that's where I'm going. That's my whole focus entirely. What do you think of that? Well, there you go. A little something from my journal. And poor Jenny, I know that poor Amber, when she gets my show notes, she's going to say, I don't know how to make heads or tails out of this because it's from my journal, literally from my journal. I hope to see you tonight because I'm dropping some new truth bombs on you tonight. What? For the new Hot Melt Sprint. So off to the races, girlfriends. I'm off, and the rest of the afternoon, I won't even be in the Facebook group, nothing. Got to stay off the grid because I got to get these new slides done. I love you guys. I appreciate you. 7 p.m. tonight Eastern. savingdinner.com/sprint. And if this meant anything to you and you decide to share it, that means everything to me. Peace be with you. I'll see you tonight.
Thanks for watching. You can find us on YouTube on the Saving Dinner channel or on the Saving Dinner Facebook page. Check back daily for new episodes, Monday to Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern. If you missed the live show, you can watch the replay. Until next time, pinkies up.